BlackBerry saw the future coming. It launched a full touchscreen phone in 2008. It bought a modern operating system in 2010. And it rebuilt its phones almost entirely from the ground up. It still lost the smartphone war. In September 2012, BlackBerry reached approximately 80 million subscribers, the largest user base in its history. 4 months later, it launched BlackBerry 10. Within a year, the company would record approximately $2.4 billion in charges connected to BlackBerry 10 devices. Within 4 years, it would stop developing phones internally. That should not happen to a company that simply slept through the future. And that is the point. BlackBerry was not destroyed because it failed to notice the touchscreen. It was destroyed by something more dangerous. Its greatest strengths kept producing money after they had stopped producing the future. The keyboard, secure network, corporate customers, and recurring service revenue were extraordinary advantages. Together, they made a complete break feel reckless. BlackBerry's collapse began while the company was still growing. And the technology it bought to save the phone would eventually save the company somewhere most people never see. To understand how, we need to begin with what BlackBerry actually sold. It was not just a phone. Research in Motion was founded in Waterloo, Canada, in 1984. It spent years working with wireless data before smartphone described a mass market. In 1999, it introduced the BlackBerry solution. The first device looked more like a wide pager than a modern phone. But it did something transformative. It put email in a pocket and delivered messages as they arrived. An executive no longer had to return to a computer to read an urgent message. A lawyer could answer between meetings. A sales team could remain connected while traveling. The small keyboard made real replies possible. But the device was only the visible part of the system. BlackBerry Enterprise Server connected company email systems to BlackBerry's infrastructure. Messages and corporate data could be compressed, encrypted, and pushed across mobile networks. That architecture pleased 3 powerful groups at once. Employees received instant communication. Corporate technology departments received centralized control and security. Mobile carriers received an efficient data service that worked on networks with limited capacity. BlackBerry was not merely selling a handset. It operated the secure road carrying the handset's most valuable traffic. That road produced recurring service revenue. A competitor could manufacture a nicer phone. It could not instantly recreate BlackBerry's servers, carrier relationships, corporate trust, and growing subscriber network. At the end of fiscal 2007, BlackBerry had approximately 8 million subscriber accounts. 1 year later, it had more than 14 million. The phone had become a professional requirement. Then the work tool escaped the office. BlackBerry expanded beyond email. Its phones added calling, web access, calendars, cameras, and media. BlackBerry Messenger turned every device into part of a private social network. A unique BlackBerry PIN connected friends without ordinary text messages. Delivered and read indicators made conversations feel immediate. The keyboard made long exchanges comfortable, and that blinking red notification light promised that something important was waiting. People called the devices crackberries because checking them could feel compulsive. The Pearl and Curve reached younger buyers. BBM grew especially powerful in markets where conventional text messages were expensive. BlackBerry's efficient data use allowed carriers to sell attractive plans. The same system could now serve a bank, a government department, a teenager, and a small business. By the end of fiscal 2010, the subscriber base exceeded 41 million. For calendar 2010, the company reported that BlackBerry was the #1 selling smartphone brand in the United States, Canada, Latin America, and the United Kingdom. BlackBerry had not missed the smartphone revolution. It had helped create it. Its expertise was communication. Its keyboard was fast. Its network saved bandwidth. Its battery life was practical. Its relationships with carriers and corporate buyers were deep, but success trained BlackBerry to see a smartphone as a communication system with applications attached. The market was about to see it as a software platform, where communication was only one application among thousands, and Apple did not need to beat BlackBerry at its own game. It changed who got to choose the game. Apple introduced the iPhone in January 2007. The first version lacked features BlackBerry users considered essential. It had no physical keyboard. It was not built around the management tools corporate technology departments trusted. Its network was slow. It could not yet run downloadable native applications from an app store. BlackBerry could reasonably argue that it remained better at serious mobile communication. But Apple changed who decided what a work phone should be. BlackBerry had succeeded by convincing employers, carriers, and technology departments. Apple concentrated on the person holding the device. A large multi-touch display made photographs, maps, web pages, and media feel natural. The interface rewarded exploration instead of efficiency through memorized keys and menus. Then the App Store opened in July 2008. More than 10 million applications were downloaded during its first weekend. Android market followed with the first Android phone in October. The competitive unit was no longer one handset, it was the operating system. Developer tools, store, payment system, services, and application library surrounding it. Every new application gave consumers another reason to choose the platform. Every new consumer gave developers another reason to build for it. BlackBerry had its own powerful loop. Subscribers created service revenue, BBM contacts, and reasons for carriers and companies to support the platform. But Apple and Google had opened their loops to thousands of outside developers. Those developers could create value faster than any single company. Employees increasingly wanted to bring personal devices into work. Corporate technology departments could resist them, but they could not permanently reverse consumer preference. BlackBerry's response proves it saw the threat. It also reveals why seeing the threat was not enough. In 2008, BlackBerry released the Storm, a full touchscreen phone whose display physically clicked when pressed. The idea tried to preserve tactile confirmation while competing with the iPhone's glass interface. It also exposed the transition problem. BlackBerry was translating a keyboard-centered experience onto a touchscreen without replacing the operating system underneath it. The Storm looked like a response to the future, but it still carried assumptions from the past. The keyboard itself was not the mistake. It was genuinely excellent. Millions preferred it. Abandoning those customers would destroy one of the clearest reasons to buy a BlackBerry. The trap was believing that this advantage created more time than it actually did. BlackBerry's operating system had evolved around efficient messaging, trackballs, keyboards, and older mobile hardware. Modern touch interfaces demanded fluid graphics, consistent gestures, stronger web technology, and better tools for sophisticated applications. Rebuilding that foundation meant risking the enormous business sitting on top of it. The old platform supported tens of millions of customers. Companies had servers and security policies built around it. Carriers billed recurring fees. Developers had existing tools. Product teams were releasing phones for different networks, countries, and price levels. A clean break would erase compatibility. An incomplete break would force BlackBerry to maintain the old world while building the new one, and the old world still looked healthy. In fiscal 2012, BlackBerry generated approximately $18.4 billion in sales and ended the year with more than 77 million subscribers. The business was not dead. It was large enough to hide how quickly the reasons for choosing it were weakening. BlackBerry eventually chose a new foundation, but the first product to receive its future was not the product that needed it most. In April 2010, Research in Motion agreed to purchase QNX for $200 million. QNX built reliable operating systems for embedded machines. It could give BlackBerry the modern foundation needed for touch interfaces, multitasking, and a new generation of applications. The acquisition was not the fatal mistake. The problem was where the future appeared first. BlackBerry's first major QNX product was not a phone. It was the Playbook tablet. The Playbook arrived in 2011 with capable hardware, a gesture-driven interface, and impressive multitasking. It also launched without built-in email, calendar, and contacts applications. For the company that made mobile email indispensable, the omission was astonishing. Owners could access some functions through a connected BlackBerry phone or use the browser while waiting for native applications. But the damage was larger than one missing feature. BlackBerry now had two technological worlds. Its profitable phones still used the older operating system. The Playbook introduced the QNX-based future. Engineers and developers had to bridge them while Apple and Android improved platforms already running across millions of new phones. The tablet consumed time, attention, and inventory. During fiscal 2012, BlackBerry recorded a provision of approximately $485 million related to Playbook inventory. Meanwhile, the QNX phone platform remained unfinished. The first BlackBerry 10 phones were expected during the latter part of 2012. The official launch did not happen until January 30, 2013. That delay sounds small on a calendar. It was enormous inside an ecosystem. During those years, people bought applications, stored photographs, learned interfaces, and connected accessories to iPhones and Android devices. Developers built businesses around the platforms with the largest audiences. Employers adapted security policies to devices employees already wanted. Yet in September 2012, BlackBerry still reached approximately 80 million subscribers. That number looked like strength, but a subscriber count measures relationships created in the past. It cannot reveal where the next customer, developer, or application is moving. BlackBerry was measuring the size of its installed system while Apple and Google were increasing the speed of theirs. The old platform could not be abandoned early. The new platform could not arrive late. BlackBerry was trapped between both conditions, and when the comeback finally arrived, its biggest problem was not that it was bad, it was that the market no longer had to wait for it. At the BlackBerry 10 launch, Research in Motion renamed itself BlackBerry. The Z10 abandoned the physical keyboard for a full touchscreen. The Q10 preserved it for loyal users. BlackBerry 10 introduced fluid gestures, strong multitasking, and the BlackBerry Hub, which collected messages and notifications in one place. These were not careless products. The platform launched with more than 70,000 applications, and BlackBerry announced more than 100,000 within 2 months. But application count did not make every application equally valuable. The platforms with the largest active audiences received important services first. Some BlackBerry applications arrived late, lacked features, or never arrived. The ecosystem loop now worked against the company. Consumers hesitated because applications were uncertain. Developers hesitated because consumers were uncertain. Carriers and retailers hesitated because demand was uncertain. BlackBerry tried to manufacture momentum with a broad launch and large inventory commitments. Demand did not match those expectations. During fiscal 2014, the company recorded approximately $2.4 billion in charges related to BlackBerry 10 inventory and supply commitments. Revenue fell to $6.8 billion, down 38% from the previous year. The company reported a net loss from continuing operations of $5.9 billion. BlackBerry had finally built the clean break it needed. The market no longer needed another clean break. By 2013, the decisive question was not whether BlackBerry 10 was capable. It was whether a third ecosystem could convince users and developers to abandon two systems that were already working for them. So did the keyboard kill BlackBerry? No. The real answer is more useful and more uncomfortable. The keyboard became the symbol because it was visible. The real trap was the business system underneath it. BlackBerry had optimized an entire company around secure communication. Its devices, network, servers, carrier contracts, and recurring fees reinforced one another. That system was hard to copy. For years, it was why BlackBerry won. When competition shifted toward consumer software ecosystems, the company needed to replace more than a product. It had to replace the logic connecting its products, customers, and revenue. First, BlackBerry underestimated how quickly consumer preference would overrule centralized corporate purchasing. Second, subscriber growth disguised deterioration in the smartphone markets, shaping developer attention. Third, supporting the successful old platform consumed time while the replacement needed immediate scale. Fourth, the playbook placed the new operating system inside a secondary product before the essential phone transition was ready. Finally, BlackBerry 10 arrived after customers and developers had invested years into rival ecosystems. Each decision had a rational defense. Protect the subscribers still paying. Serve the companies that still trusted BlackBerry. Keep the keyboard customers loved. Introduce unfinished technology through a tablet before risking the phone business. Wait until the replacement platform was reliable. Together, those sensible choices spent the one resource BlackBerry could never recover: time. But this story has one final reversal. The operating system that arrived too late for the phone was already built for machines that could not afford to fail. In September 2016, BlackBerry announced that it would end internal hardware development and outsource future BlackBerry-branded phones. The phone empire was over. The company was not. The QNX acquisition that could not save BlackBerry's phones became a foundation for the business that survived them. Today, BlackBerry focuses on QNX and secure communications. According to its 2026 annual report, QNX technology enables more than 275 million vehicles. The brand, once known for a keyboard in every executive's pocket, now provides software underneath cars, industrial systems, and other machines where reliability and security matter. BlackBerry's greatest strength did not become useless. It became useful somewhere else. This was never a story about failing to predict the future. It was a story about recognizing the future while the past was still paying you not to change. That is the keyboard trap. If you want more stories about the exact decisions that turn great companies into cautionary tales, subscribe to Fatal Pivot. Because the next collapse begins while everyone is still celebrating the numbers.